What's going on, everybody? Coach Bateman, NXG Combat Sports. Today, I'm here with Logan. He's both a personal trainer as well as a competitive athlete at NXG Combat Sports. And I thought he'd be perfect for today's video where we're discussing coaching methodology. I don't mean in the classroom coaching methodology. What I mean is from the chair to the arena, right? Tell us a little bit kind of about your experiences and how long you've trained some of the events that you've competed in.
So I've actually been training a year now, and I've competed at this point, I think 8 times. I've competed in ADCC, Fuji, AGF. I've done 2 super fights at this point, other tournaments here and there, but I've enjoyed competing so
You
much.
kind of came to me and gave some opinion in regards to some likes and some dislikes
Yep.
in regards to how you receive coaching as the man in the arena doing the thing. Is that right?
Yes.
Elaborate
yes.
on that a little bit for me.
Okay, so I actually noticed it watching another match of yours, or you were coaching somebody else. You weren't saying much, but the athlete was doing exactly what they should have done in that moment. And the other coach was saying a whole bunch of stuff to the other athlete. So I enjoyed, because when I'm in there as well, I enjoy when the coach just lets me do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed it, for me personally, it stops the confusion of, one, I'm thinking I'm inside, everything's happening so fast, and I'm having somebody yell a bunch of stuff at me at the same time, and it just conjures up so much. It clouds everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the coach letting the athlete do their thing, not saying much, letting it play out, giving their input every once in a while works so much better, in my opinion. And I've seen it work better for others as well. So,
You know, I think it's something that I've adopted over the years. I'm sure I yelled and screamed immensely as a newer coach.
yeah.
But the reality is twofold. One, you know what your game is, you know what kind of play you have. And I would say the same is true for our youngest athletes as well as our older adult competitors. As a coach, kind of view it as my duty to know each person. And I know what their strengths and weaknesses are. I know what they're most likely to do. Me and you actually kind of like pregame on Thursdays. Like,
Yep.
what's the game plan for this weekend? And then we're going to go out and look for that strategy.
Yep.
Obviously, if it goes sideways or something else is presented to you, you take it, but we know what we're going to do, right?
Exactly.
So what are some examples of that kind of data overload you were talking about, as far as, is it too much information coming too fast? Is it a lack of kind of connection?
A lot of these regional, we have so many coaches there at the same time, and not everybody's going to be able to sit down and understand, all the coaches aren't going to understand what your game plan is. But having a coach in that chair, and you're doing something in your mind, you know what you're going for, you know what you're doing, but the coach is telling you like, oh no, do this, and it kind of throws off of, I'm trying to think through this problem, and I know the solution I want to go for, but they want a different solution, and it clouds the judgment in the moment. And it is a little irritating at times where it's like so much, like just the audio in my head, maybe it's, I don't know, but I know in that moment what I'm going for, but there are times where it slows down and maybe the coach can tell something like, oh, he's not understanding where he's at in the moment, and you'll give me little bitty bits and pieces, and I like that much better.
I think that may even be what spawned this whole conversation. We knew, and we can't give it up for you guys because some of y'all might have to compete against them one day, but we knew what the objective was for the whole tournament, right?
Mhm.
We're running a specific strategy.
We know where we're going.
And you had an opportunity to enter into a position. Maybe it wasn't the way you had normally drilled it, but it was kind of in front of you, but in the abstract, right?
Yep.
So I think I just said, hey, you can enter into position X.
It's there.
From here also, and you were like, got
there
it.
It is. Yep.
And then we wrapped the match like a couple seconds later, right? So for the coaches, I definitely encourage you to make sure that you know your athletes. First of all, know their strengths, know their weaknesses. Second, I'm going to go back to data overload. The time and the speed of information that I can put out of my mouth is way faster than any athlete's ability to hear it, dissect it, look at what's happening, and then figure out how to implement it, right? Not to mention, nothing stays static, right? We're in a combat sport. So by the time that data has processed, we might be 2 or 3 steps off from that moment. So micromanaging, I don't think helps. I think you kind of agree that it doesn't help. Let the athlete play their game. Let the athlete do what they train to do every day.
Yep.
And then if you see something that maybe they're missing, or if you see something that's coming and you kind of have that foresight, because again, you're not under stress in the same manner. I'm sitting in a chair, chilling, sipping a beverage.
Yep.
You know, it is high stress, guys. I love my folks and I get very, very psychologically involved. But the reality is just maybe he doesn't see something coming. Like, hey, watch your left elbow. He's fishing for that Kimura. Something simple, but I
Those
don't
little
have
short
the
bursts. I love. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think they work perfect.
but not trying to like run it like a PlayStation controller where I'm expecting you to do the second
Yes.
I push the X button. Like,
Yep.
block, right?
Yep.
Perfect. So listen, guys, if you have anything that you would like to hear us talk about here at NXG Combat Sports, we want to continue sharing to help our coaches improve, to give our athletes the best opportunity possible. And we figured that if we can step the game up, not only at NXG Combat Sports, but even in other academies, that we'll just continue leveling up. That's our goal. I don't know if you checked out his hat yet, but we're going to link in the comments to his socials. I want you to go and follow him. Again, we started this by saying he is a personal trainer. I've had a lot of time to sit and interact with him. I like what he's doing. I definitely think he's a good trainer, and exactly for kind of what we were talking about, having a relationship with your athlete. I'm going to be a better coach to you the more I know about you.
Yep.
And I see him doing the same thing for the athletes that he's working with. It's hard to customize a program when you don't know the person you're dealing with,
or
right?
what their goals are or anything like that. Yeah.
That's it, guys.
Yeah.
Coach Bateman, Logan, NXG Combat Sports. See you soon.